It wasn't too long after until she had texted me that she thought that, well... Don't forget to hit subscribe and smack that bell button to become an honorary Fear.Raiser member so that you never miss a video.
How many dates have you guys been on? 1? 5? 20 maybe? For me, well, at this point I've kind of lost count, but that's not the point. The point is that dating nowadays seems to be a bit of a rather strange subject to talk about for some. I mean, let's be honest, dating nowadays has changed so much. I mean, the fact that, people date on apps now and there's just so many options and choices, it's really led to the ability to achieve very unique experiences and be caught in some strange scenarios. And, dating, of course, is no exception with that. So, my question for you is, have you ever been on a date that wasn't supposed to be a date? Wait, what's that? No? Perhaps? Yes, maybe. Okay, you know what? I'm hearing too many people. Regardless, guys, allow me to tell you the story today about a awkward... Let me reframe. A really uncomfortable situation that happened not too long ago. Fix my hair. So let's just jump right into it.
When it comes to dating and girls in my life, I have certainly been put in many strange, awkward, and unforeseen situations that I don't think anyone being put through them could honestly prepare for. And this story is no different. So essentially, this all took place in Toronto when I was attempting to live my best life with nothing but positive vibes and motivation. During the last year before moving back home while I was living in Toronto, I had definitely found myself in a rough spot with some depression and anxiety. You know, the whole shebang. And just to sprinkle a tad bit of loneliness on this delicious dish of sadness, I decided that I would start surrounding myself with positive content on my Instagram and Facebook to help me push out of my rather bad spot that I found myself in at the time. Now, just a little bit of advice here before I continue the story. Following motivational speakers and influencers on social media platforms is probably one of the best decisions I ever made when it comes to being online when I found myself in the slump that I was going in. Going about your day and finding yourself on your phone, which is what we all inevitably do, I was just constantly bombarded with negative news, posts of other people's success, and just found myself constantly judging myself in the process. That's why I made the choice to start reading self-help books and follow people who gave me positive influence so that when I did find myself on my phone, I would have more of a positive outlook than a negative one. But anyways, that's my little random tip for you guys in this video, so allow me to continue my story. So one day while I was walking downtown, enjoying the nice day out, I had received a message. A message from a girl who I hadn't really interacted with much, and had only met her once at a party, which we'll call Sydney. Sydney, from out of the blue, had made small talk with me at first, which I found very odd considering we barely knew each other, and it was just certainly not something I was really expecting to happen to begin with. And I mean, when you receive a text a month or two down the road after never interacting before or after, can certainly throw you off in the moment. But curiosity got the best of me, so I kept it going with her. It wasn't too long after until she had texted me that she thought that, well, I was cute, and this made me feel a little awkward. Why? Well, because I wasn't exactly digging this chick. I mean, for one, we lived super far away from each other. For two, I barely knew her, and three, I had heard some rather unpleasant stories from some trusted friends of mine that told me things that kind of put me on the fence about her as well. I'm talking about, like, not being a great person kind of stuff, you know? So, with all of this stirring together in the pot of somewhat shameful reasons to ghost someone, I decided to play things by ear and find out for myself on how this girl was. So, we continued to chat for a couple of weeks after that. Now, something I'm not sure if I should mention or not is that at the time, I had definitely been going through some stuff that led to me being rather vulnerable during all of this taking place. A lot of personal stuff was going on, and looking back, definitely had me thinking in a much different mindset, which is what I think led me to continuing these interactions with this girl, even though I knew it was probably not the wisest idea, but allow me to continue. So, after a few weeks of getting to somewhat know each other more and more, something really odd began to happen. She started to seemingly drift away from me more and more as the day continued. A handful of text messages a day turned into a couple to eventually barely any at all. And, well, as you can imagine, this really began to bother me a bit. I didn't really have a whole lot of people in my life at the time, and for this chick to just barge in and suddenly ditch me right when we were kinda actually starting to get close was certainly uncool. Especially considering that I was starting to actually like this girl. Now that being said, I realized that people can lose interest and stuff like that, but the worst part about it was this girl went from texting me about how she feels about me and such to suddenly ghosting me for no reason. So yeah, not a great feeling.
Allow me to quickly say that ghosting has to be one of the grossest things that have come out of recent years with what people are now doing to each other online. I mean, it's bad enough that people nowadays are just getting so disconnected with each other with, phones and games and technology. But when you ghost little Sally down the road because you had a little argument over something stupid, that's sad. Alright? That's sad. She could have been a good friend and you ghosted her for no good reason. That poor little Sally. So if you're one of those people that do that, they just ghost for no good reason, I recommend you stop. Because you just stop.
A couple of months down the road, after completely moving on from this girl, knowing what we had was pretty much gone, she began to text me again, acting like she's suddenly interested in me, and honestly at this point, I was pretty much done with this girl. But at the same time, I didn't want to be a rude dude. So I would answer back, usually casually. This on and off talking to each other thing would soon happen all too common, as it just happened more and more. A few weeks we're talking, a few weeks she disappears, and after noticing this pattern, I just completely gave up altogether. Granted, I should have done so before my loneliness was getting the better of me, and so continued the cycle for many weeks ahead.
So yeah, quite the annoying predicament to be in. I mean, being alone, depressed, and trying your best. Man, I'm becoming like Dr. Seuss here. Look, the point is, when you were sad and you got nobody in your life, and then all of a sudden somebody comes in and starts getting to know you, and you start getting feelings for that person, and then after a while they decide to just walk out the door, just ghost you, just not even give you a good reason, just tugging at your heartstrings. It kind of sucks. It's kind of frustrating. So as you can imagine, I was quite frustrated.
Something that was also pretty annoying about all of this was that this girl had lived far away from me, but expected me to drive hours out to see her without ever seeming to want to put effort in herself. So it definitely didn't feel like a shared effort, and not to mention, I'm not gonna drive 10 hours out to just see a girl I've only met once on a whim. That's also including my hesitation with this girl, considering she kept spooking me with her text messages. Who's gonna do that if you're constantly making me feel like I'm on the fence with you? And plus, I don't got time for that. But none of this could even compare to what was all about to happen next.
That's right, everybody. This story is so big that it requires a part 2. So be sure to smack that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the bell, do the whole shebang, and get ready because, guys, the real fun is in part 2. But either way, guys, I do hope you did enjoy this story. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, of course, for more great content ahead, guys. I also want to quickly announce that I'm in the process of actually working on a merchandise shop that's going to have very affordable, very, very nice looking merch on my end here. So, with Christmas coming ahead and all that kind of stuff, would you guys be interested in perhaps getting some cool merch? And I'm talking cool, guys. I'm talking embroider, just an embroidery here of my guy or my symbol, or it's just very awesome clothes. I won't say too much because it's not ready yet, but it will be ready within the next week or two. So I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Would you get some merch? Because if you do, I will actually be putting you guys in my videos, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. So either way, that's all I really have to say. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. All right, guys, take care and have a great day. See ya!